Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. What we're going to make is pizza, but a pizza dough which is a pretzel pizza dough. I've never done one on pretzel dough, but I have to tell you, this is a good one. It really is. I'm going to give you the recipe right off the bat. I no longer put it below the video, and I'm sorry about that. But hopefully if you want to jot it down, you'll be able to get it, okay? So here's the following. Now, first off, I did make the dough in my bread machine or bread maker, whatever you want to call it, on the dough cycle. You can make this dough by hand if you prefer, but I like to use the maker because I think I get more even results. It's much easier. I don't have to do kneading with my hands and that type of thing. So if that's, if that's not your cup of tea, then maybe this isn't the video for you. But it is made in a bread maker. Okay, first off, for your recipe, you need 1.5 cups of water, and it should be anywhere from 110 to 115 Fahrenheit. And I usually just heat mine in the microwave. You need 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. You need 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. So if you're using the packets, you'll definitely have to open up a second packet to retrieve your 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. You need 4 cups of all-purpose flour, which is great. So if you don't have bread flour at home, this really works out excellent. 1 teaspoon of salt. Now that is how you make the pretzel dough to make pizza. Now I'm going to show you half. I cut this into half, so I could make 2 pizzas out of it. Of course, you don't have to do that. And I usually make it in this pan. And I did heavily oil it, greased it. But this is half of the recipe of what you're seeing. If you prefer to go up a size to, this is a 10-inch, to go to a 12-inch, then, feel free and just use the whole piece of dough that comes out of your maker. But this again is half, and I'm just going to put a little flour on my countertop. I don't like to work with the dough a lot with my hands because I think it toughens it up. It's a nice working dough. It's a little bit sticky in the beginning, so put a little flour on your hands. And again, I'm not going to roll it out too much. I'm going to do the rest really by hand and just lay my disc down. Now what you'll want to do though is to stretch this out past the rim so that you do get the advantage of that crust. Okay, so I just kind of push it out to the limit here of the pan. The rim is what I'm making reference to. Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. Okay. This makes the small ones about a medium thick crust. If you use the whole piece of dough on a larger pan, it's going to be a little bit thicker, of course. Alright. There are going to be some other steps that we're going to do and talk about because we want it to be a pretzel dough, okay? So, the next thing that I do, now you can jump and start to put your ingredients in, but this is what I do. You will take a 1/2 cup of warm water, and I prefer mine to be hot. But take a 1/2 cup of very warm water or hot water into a bowl, and then we're going to put 2 tablespoons of baking soda. and just put that in. Let's see, I hope you can see that. Okay. A half a cup to 2 tablespoons of baking soda. It'll foam up nicely. Mix it well. And then with a pastry brush, it's the easiest. Go along the crust about 1 inch or so. Basically, I do it from the rim to where this indentation is in the center of the pan. And just keep, stirring it. And you want to moisten it. Now, you're not going to put so much that you're going to make a soggy crust, but you do want to see that you have, really dampened the dough with this warm or hot water and baking soda, okay? And just go around the rim. Now, what you're going to do is, and you have to be a little patient, is that you're going to wait about 5 minutes. And what you want is that within 5 minutes, this will start to dry out. That hot water and baking soda will start to dry. After 5 minutes, then you're going to coat it again. You're going to coat it a second time, okay? So I'm going to have, just to pretend that this has been 5 minutes has passed, and you can do it again, okay? Now, you also, if you don't want to do it that way, you can wait your 5 minutes originally, start making your pizza, just as I'm going to now. I'm going to tell you I am using 8 ounces of pizza sauce, and I'm trying to stay away from that edge, where that nice pretzel edge will be, okay? And then just spread it out. You, of course, design the type of pizza that you like, whether you like a lot of sauce, no sauce, or a little. And then I'm just going to go on and put some Parmesan Romano, grated, finely grated, over it. Now keep in mind, again, it bears repeating, you could wait the 5 minutes and do your second coating. But what I'm going to do is, I'm actually, by the time I build the pizza, it will be dry, and then I'm going to carefully just wet the edges. But you might prefer to wet the edges right after each other, within that, after that, 5 minute interval and the second 5 minute interval. And here we're just going to put on some mozzarella cheese that I have, I buy it in bulk at a restaurant supply, and I grind my own. And I like to measure it of how much, so all my pizza is, distributed right, just the way that I want it. And it's cheaper for me to grind my own and then freeze it, wrap it well and freeze it. But of course you can use whatever type of cheese that you like, and you can buy it right in the grocery store already. And you just open a package and bingo, you've got your cheese or your mozzarella cheese. But again, I hate to buy cheeses that come out of packages, because I know they put those anti-caking agents in it, and to me, I'd rather not have that in my cheese. Okay, and then I'm just going to put on some pepperoni. Now, of course, you can put whatever you want, because it's limitless, because you can put Italian sausage on, ham, mushrooms, green peppers, pineapple, onion. I mean, that's what's so nice about pizza, is that you can garnish it whatever that you like and what your family likes to eat on pizza. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to put those aside. All right. And then again, I'm going to give it a good stir. And then I'll just go carefully around it again to moisten it. But again, if you prefer to do this right after the first 5 minutes, feel free. It is probably a little bit easier to do it then, because now I have to be more conscious of where the cheese is and where the sauce is. But that's going to be up to you, and moisten it, okay? And then again, let that dry for at least 5 minutes, okay? A total of 10 minutes for the two times that you're going to put that baking soda hot water mixture on. Now, I like to bake mine anywhere from 425 degrees to 450, and they generally come up within 15, maybe the longest, 20 minutes, because you know our oven's set up so differently, that kind of thing. Now, I'm going to just rinse my hands quickly. Oh, and I almost forgot, oh my gosh, the biggest thing. Coarse salt is the best, of course, because it's easier to put on, but if luck would have it, I don't have any. I didn't realize that to doing it with the video. So I'm just putting some salt in the palm of my hand and then just sprinkling it on that. Okay? Now you want to put that on when it's reasonably wet so that the salt will adhere to it and stick to it. Okay? Now you'll probably prefer a coarse salt over the salt I'm using, but either way it's absolutely delicious. So once again, I'm going to rinse my hands, and I am quickly going to show you what it can look like. Now, unfortunately, my family got to the pizza not realizing that I was going to do a video, so these are the only two pieces that were left, okay? I don't know whether you'll be able to see that nice pretzel crust or not, but it's very crispy. It's not a heavy pizza dough. It's anywhere, I would say, light to medium crust, but extremely crispy on the edge, just like when you bite into a nice pretzel, okay? Now, I will have a picture. I did take a picture of it that will be on my channel before it was cut and everyone ate all of it. But I hope you give this recipe a try. If you want to try a different type of pizza or pizza dough, this is kind of a nice change, you know, from just doing the same thing over and over again. All right, so first up, I want to thank you again for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. If you try this recipe and you like it, well, I'd love to hear from you. If you write to me though, please remember I only put my videos on YouTube, so if you write to me on YouTube, I'll get your question, I'll get your comment, and I'll do my very best to answer in a timely fashion, okay? So, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, well, I can't thank you enough, or ring the bell for my video. So, again, it bears repeating. Try this recipe. I think it's worth the time. I think you're going to like it. And again, thank you for watching me on Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.